My name is Maxwell Benjamin Reimers. My nickname is Squid. This is my culminating task presentation for GLS 101. In this assignment, I will share what I have learned from this course, and in particular, the skills and strategies that will help me adapt to a 2-term curriculum from a 10-month academic year I was used to. Time management is my Achilles heel. That's why I need some good strategies. I did half of my elementary school at both Gatestone and St. Mark's. I was homeschooled for 3 years from grades 4 to 6, and then I returned to Gatestone for grades 7 to 8. I graduated on the honors list and wore a formal kilt at graduation. I knew time management would be a big factor in how I would adapt to the 2-term academic year. It was really lucky that GLS 101 was available in the first term of my freshman year. With new strategies and old strategies reviewed, it will help me set the tone to a good approach. The course both fulfills an elective for my graduation diploma, and it came at the right time. The KWHLAQ strategy is like a detective formula. Each step gives you clues. The first step is to start with what you know and decide what will satisfy your research. Like any good detective, you need to know what resources you can tap to solve the unknown. While investigating, new information is uncovered. You can then decide what you will do about what you've learned. That includes deciding if you've got more mysteries to uncover. Setting goals helps you think about where you want to be in the long run. It also helps keep you focused and motivated to get to the end point. The biggest bonus about setting goals is that it helps you organize your resources and research to make the most of the time you have to achieve your goal. Planning is very important and is bound by a due date. Break down a project and plan it out, then it becomes easier to handle. Break down the goal into milestones, and milestones into tasks. Break down the due date according to how big each milestone is. Think of a milestone as if it was a puzzle piece. The printed side of the puzzle piece is all the organized research you did. The tasks would be each individual color you had to use to make the print on the puzzle piece. On their own, the tasks don't amount to much. Put tasks together and you've got a key puzzle piece, or milestone. Put the milestone puzzle pieces together and you've achieved your goal. Software gets my work done and makes it look nice. I can create the pieces of my project as I go along and update multiple documents at the same time. That's the beauty of software applications. It's all about multitasking. I am comfortable with that. A picture is worth 1,000 words. It is faster to get the same information with an image than it takes time to read about it. However, it has to be a meaningful image relevant to the information, otherwise it becomes ineffective or worse, confusing. With good images, it's easier to see the relationships in the data, to see evolving trends, and to group information into categories. Combining images with oral explanations enforces the information intended to be shared. Instead of a written word outline, I use a bubble web with the core idea in the center. Main topics for the core idea explode out. From there, I usually go to PowerPoint and set up my slides in the order that I want them. One slide for each main topic. Subpoint slides can be added for main topics as needed. I will use a fishbone diagram only if the main points have important points that need to be broken down some more. That usually means even more slides. I definitely use a fishbone diagram when it's a word essay. Finally, I use a flowchart to try and make sense of which parts are standalone and which depend on others. Bad group projects can happen. It happened to me. In my personal experience, it was all due to poor planning. Poor planning makes communication very difficult. Even though we knew the due date, we didn't have any idea how much work each of us thought we would need to do. We didn't have the same vision for the overall project. When we collated our project parts together, we ran out of time to pick a common background scheme. Still, I would like to work with this person again on another project now that I've had more practice with better strategies for group work. Good experiences with group work also happens. In December, I was part of a group of 4 people doing a big project. What I liked is that we organized right away. Since we did it together, we then each had a copy of the overall project. That made it easier to choose research that fit with each other's parts. We then self-paced and self-directed ourselves to get our work done. We kept in touch by text messages and used our class time effectively. Communication and planning make it a good experience. I would work with them again. Whichever career path I choose, I will have developed a skill set that I can fine-tune while at Westmount and continue to use my whole life through. I visited 3 booths during Career Week. I decided to find out about video game developer because I was interested in seeing what kind of work goes into making that product. I am now convinced I would not like the job of making video games. It doesn't sound like the worker is appreciated for their talent since they get assigned jobs that have nothing to do with programming. It also sounds like they don't have long-term jobs. It's mostly contract work. This is not the kind of work for me. I would not be happy in that kind of work environment. Plus, I don't like the idea of not having a steady income. Another particular option I looked into was joining military service, in particular the Air Force. The only way joining the RCAF makes sense for me is if I already have a university degree. With a degree, you could join one of the military elements as a commissioned officer and get better pay and better opportunities. Also, if you don't have a degree, then you can only climb to the highest non-commissioned officer rank. That's below captain. You can't go any higher. You do receive training as an NCO, but never with the same kind of career opportunity you would have if you started out as a captain. The final career booth I visited was for the position of engineer. About 50% of my relatives are in a science field, from engineering to physics to applied science. I really like to be an engineer or a physicist, or maybe even an engineering physicist. I share a lot of common personality traits and interests as my relatives in the science field, so I think it's a natural tendency for me to want to do what they do. That's why every course I choose at Westmount has to not only fulfill high school diploma requirements, it has to be courses that are going to help get me into a good engineering school. Doing well will be up to me. The most important transferable skill, I think, is the ability to do teamwork. There is no I in team. Actually, there are many. A good team forms a chain mesh of people that do their own work as it fits in the overall plan, so that if one link fails or one person has a shortfall, the whole team doesn't collapse, but can keep going and share a negligible load due to the shortcoming. Another skill set to have is the ability to do long-term planning. Like adventurer John Goddard, doing long-term planning, you can set yourself up to do many concurrent and consecutive goals. If you only did one project at a time, you would not have a long enough lifespan to achieve all your goals. Experiencing life is a lot better than watching it go by. It's the same thing with business. To keep going, a business has to get going all departments working together to carry out long-term planning to achieve goals. A third transferable skill that works well with doing long-term planning and teamwork is taking time to reflect. The reflection tool is a really good way to objectively evaluate what worked well and what was way off. It's easier to see how strengths drive success and how weaknesses can be specifically redirected as a piece of the action that needs tweaking. In the long run, it makes me more capable. I think I already knew a lot of the strategies discussed in GLS, but I didn't understand them well. Mostly, when I used to do a project, I started with an idea like it was a snowball. Then, like having a snowball roll down a hill, my work would get bigger, and along the way, I would pick up what I needed. I didn't think about planning or time limits, or a focus question, or how much insight I had to get into. I am still not an expert at learning strategies. However, I am better at seeing how to improve. This will make my academic life at Westbound a lot less stressful. And with a little more long-term planning, it will be a lot more fun.
And that's why they call it egg white. Whoa, hey, I don't like it. Hey, watch the shell. I don't even understand. What's that thing? What's she doing? I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. You should really tell another one of your jokes. Whoa, where are they taking Steve? What's she doing? Where's Steve going? What? I don't even... Okay. What? Hey, who wants to hear a joke?